Hello, everyone. My name's Fearon. Thank you so much for having me. This means so much to me. There's so many inspiring people here today, so this just means a lot for me being here. Today, we're going to go on a little journey. So as I'm asking questions and I'm talking, I want you to look into yourself a little bit as well. I want you to feel what I'm talking about. All right? Now, my name's Fearon. I run for Great Britain. I'm also a Great Britain bobsledder. I've done two sports side by side for 14 years. I'm a father. I'm a father of four. If any parents in the house, you know what that is, mate. That's real life. I'm an Olympic medalist. I'm a world championship medalist. I'm a European championship medalist. And you know what? I really had to ask myself, like, why? Why am I all these things? Why does this mean something to me? And for me, I left school feeling like I had no worth. When I was probably 15, 16, 17, I was sure I couldn't amount to anything. And actually, one day, I decided whether I make it or not, whether I get there or I don't, I will try. I will try with all the words that have been given over my life when people say to me, you know, make sure you've got this, make sure you've got that, you need this, you need to have that. Well, we're going to talk about it today and what it meant to me, what words actually stuck out to me and how I used them to get here today. Speaking in front of you guys, imagine I'm here, I'm from Coventry, and I am here talking in front of you guys. It means so much to me. All right, let's go. Consistency and persistence. Now, like I said, I had no worth. I didn't feel like I had any value. I didn't feel like I could achieve anything. So these were things that had to happen. I had to be consistent. I had to be persistent. I had to get up every single day and have that in my heart. Because actually, the truth was, I didn't ever feel like I was enough. I didn't feel like I could do anything. So every day, I had to be consistent. And it wasn't like, I think people throw these words around as if they're like, make sure you get up and you go and you whatever. No. I had no choice. And actually, often inside myself, even where I am now with my children and where I am in my life, which is such a different place, I have to think about where I was, what drove me, and what drove me to having all of those accolades. I'm the fastest Winter Olympian ever to walk God's earth. Why am I? Because I had to be some of these things. It wasn't a choice for me. And honestly, for me, if you live a bit like this, if you say, you know what, I'm not going to take a way out. I'm not going to take my foot off the gas. I'm not going to see a little exit route and say, you know what, that's persistent enough. Act as if you have no choice. Perseverance as an individual and as a unit. Like, this is something, because perseverance to me, again, think about me as a broken man. I had to persevere. I needed that. That had to happen. I had to get up every day and I had to go. I'd see my children growing. And I know that I had to do something, because where it wasn't where it could stay. But perseverance as a unit was very, very different. Because as you get older in sport, and I'm an Olympic medalist and now I have these accolades, I have to remember who I was when I'm persevering as a unit. I can never be too proud to get on my hands and knees and do the dirty work. I can never be too proud to say, you know what, I'm not carrying that. You're good. Do you know who I am? I can never be too proud for that. Every day I have to wake up and say, you know what, when I move as a unit, I'm going to continue as if I am still at the bottom. I am going to continue as if nothing is guaranteed for me. And it's so important. Like, think about it within your mind. If you wanted to, like, I want to do something. I want to do this. I want to go here. I want to go wherever it is. But if you have to go there, if this has to happen, then you will find a way. And you will find different strengths inside yourselves. I hope you're following me here. Direction. I was going to skip this one, but you know what? I'm going to say it anyway. Finding a way. Again, it's the same thing. You can find a way because you sort of have to and there's obstacles and, I've jumped enough hurdles now. Or you can find a way because you need to. Because actually, I needed to. I needed to be successful. That had to happen. I needed to have medals around my neck. I needed to find a way out of actually my own cage that I put myself in, my own worth that actually I didn't have. All those things had to happen. I often say, someone asked me the other day when I was at school and they said, what was your best moment in sport? What was the best thing that happened? You've traveled all these countries, Joe. You've done these things, You met the Queen. I met the Queen. What's the best thing that happened? And you know what? It was the day I looked in the mirror and was proud of who I was. The day I woke up and said, you know what, bro? You've done everything you can do. You have got up every day for the past 10 years and put one foot forward regardless of what was happening, regardless of what storm I was in, regardless if it was sunny or dark, regardless. My teammates would see me up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. every morning working, and they're looking at me like, but hold on a minute, you're the leader of this. Why are you working so hard? You've got all the records, you've got all of this. And you know what? It was the fear of that failing. It was the fear of going backwards. It was the fear of me not being enough once again. And actually, I'm probably going to struggle to get rid of that as I step away from sport and find out where I'm going to put that energy, what we're going to carry on anyway. Finding your purpose. I'm a family man. There's my kids. There's my nieces and nephews and my sisters and brothers. And you know what? These guys were what it was all about for me. They were the reason, really, why I could continue. They were the thing that was that kept the fire burning. It was the understanding of that my children's lives were being built on whatever dreams and aspirations that I had. So for me to get up every day and work less than 100% would be a disjustice to my family, to my children, and to my wife. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm an athlete, so I wanted to win. I wanted to be adored in my sport. I wanted all those wonderful things. I wanted to speak in front of people. I wanted to be on BBC News or whatever it is. I wanted all that stuff. But what really made it happen was I couldn't let them down. I couldn't, my dad, he doesn't like me talking about him much. But my dad started off in Jamaica. He had 13 siblings. He was one of the youngest. The house was so small, he used to sleep underneath it. And when it rained, he got wet. And he got me to a place where I had a decision to make. So, I think it would be a sin for me not to continue working. Sorry, I'm getting I'm an emotional guy, by the way. That singing earlier, whew, that stirred up my insides. I tell you. Have I gone backwards? Sorry. Let's go this way. Understanding my limits. I had to be honest with myself. I had to know what I'm not good at. Like, what am I not good at? The reality is I wasn't even that good at sport, but it was a way for me. It was an avenue. It was something. It was an area of my life which I didn't get rejection. I got praise. So I had to use that. That had to be the start for me. I had to work so hard. Think about it. I run in a straight line. Like, how much can you actually break that down? But there was millions of, if you ask my wife, the middle of the night, I'm watching YouTube, I'm reading books, I'm understanding, I'm watching my training partners. I'm trying to understand, why are you good? And how do I put that into my life? What makes you great? And how can I emulate that in some way or another? And it was down to their behaviors, the way they thought, the way that they spoke, the way that they woke up in the morning. Everything, because I couldn't afford to leave no stone unturned. I had to know what I could, what I couldn't do, and how I could sort of fake it. Do you know what I mean? I could just make something happen, how I could create something that I needed. I'm going to skip this one. I'm not going to skip this one. I'll tell you about this one. This is important to me, all right? I honestly believe I'm only here. The only reason I am here is because I try and do good, try and share good, try and give good energy, try and support people, try and love, try and care for, try and give all the things that actually I didn't felt that I got growing up. I just try and give. And you know what? It has never, ever let me down. So there's been no one day, and I've been through some dark days. Like it weren't all, sailing bobsleighs and running fast. Like I've been through some dark days, and there was never a day where there wasn't at least one hand to help pick me up. There was never a day that I was completely alone. And that means something to me, because it wasn't until I made the choice to live out these actions that all of a sudden hands started appearing to help me when I was struggling. Your dreams have a purpose. Yes, okay, I wanted to be Optimus Prime. I didn't quite get there. But your dreams have a purpose. Like, I used to sit in my bed wondering if I could or would be something. If I could get to where I want to be in life, that I could really look in the mirror and say, you know what, that's me. And my mum will say, you know what, that's my son. And my kids will say, you know what, that's my dad. And my brother will say, you know what, that's my bro. And just through being persistent, never giving up, always looking for the lesson, the step forward, always finding the way. I've clocked life. Like I've done more with my life than I ever thought was possible. And as you can tell, I'm still very young. Do you know what I mean? So there's more to come. Enjoy the journey. I didn't always enjoy my journey, I didn't always enjoy the struggling and the battling and the pressure, because doing sports is a lot of pressure. The storms, I didn't always enjoy it. But the truth is, where I am now and of my understanding, I enjoy waking up every morning to literally kick boundaries down. Like that is my joy. Every hurdle that I jump, everything I move out the way is something extra that my kids don't have to. That my family doesn't have to. That, you know what? Your kids don't have to. Every time we remove something, we are setting people free. So enjoy doing that. Enjoy that journey. And today, it's about legacy. And this was a weird one for me. But you know what? I think the legacy that I would like to leave is, what would the broken you do when times get hard? Not the easy you, not the you that's comfortable. Do you know what I mean? In your three-piece and, you're looking all lovely and whatever. I'm talking about the broken you, the you that's on your knees, the you that's struggling, the you in the storm. Because actually, the broken version of myself produced so many amazing things that often I have to go talk to him when I hit a dark road. I think that's enough. Thank you for having me, guys. Lovely to meet you all. Thank you very much.